sitting with the bees, meditating with them. I got this ant biting me. Nature. Good morning. So, again, it's been a couple of days, so I wanted to get a video out. And just a little bit about what's been going on. I feel like I'm going through this phase right now where I don't know how to quite explain it other than I love to talk, as maybe some of you can already gather. And I'm starting to find this place of, I'll call it energetic expenditure, where I am not maybe putting up enough boundaries, and it's exhausting me. I'm finding that between doing things that I don't want to do or having conversations that I don't want to have, picking up the phone when I don't want to pick up the phone, and even to this degree, making videos just because I feel like I need to make them every day, I was getting to a point of burnout. And I don't just mean with videos, but just with life. And so now I'm learning what that feels like to reel it back into myself. And what do I actually want? What do I actually like? What lights me up? What do I love? If you've seen any of my other videos, which I suggest you go back and watch them, because they're super fun. But if you've seen any of my other videos, I've talked about this sense of boundary before, that I never understood really what it means to have boundaries. And I feel like probably in the last 2 weeks, but definitely in the last couple of days, it is being made apparent. Kind of the reason why I'm sitting by a bunch of bees and thistles. Really, it was the thistles, but to me, thistles kind of represent this idea of boundary, and they're everywhere right now. Well, where I've been camping, they're everywhere. So it's really interesting once I started taking notice to what has been growing around me and what it's trying to tell me. And I definitely feel the energetic draw. I keep relating it to like I'm a maple tree with a bunch of tiny little taps in me, but they're all like just dripping one little drip at a time. But it starts to build up. You start to feel it. And the last couple of days, I'll do some things where I feel great, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, complete shutdown mode. And, part of me is getting into that guilt, if you will, shame, guilt spiral of, I should be doing more. I should be out there socializing. How come I didn't go do this tonight with the group? And how come? But it's like every night, and, one night, okay, whatever, that's fine. But I'm probably going on 3 days of just kind of like being a wallflower and just kind of like, meh, I don't feel like doing that. So all of that to say is like, that's why getting videos out right now haven't felt sincere. They haven't felt good in my system in some ways. It was almost like being forced. And I'm going to continue to reevaluate that, where I feel like the productive Ashley, the go-getter, wants to get a video out there. I mean, this is what I'm doing, right? This is the only thing that I have to do. But the one that's learning how to maybe not be in control, and the Ashley that is learning, well, basically I'm learning how to be with myself. And with all of that, I feel comes this idea of maybe just sitting. And maybe it means being at my campground. Well, I call it my campground, really. I'm just in the middle of this woods here, where there's nobody. So there's nothing to do, no one to socialize with. A lot of dance partying happening up at the car. But otherwise, I'll call it pretty lonely. But with that, I get to really discover myself in some ways. So either way, I wanted to give you an update with that, and really just talk about boundaries, I feel like is the topic for today. Um, and I don't know, like, what does it even mean really to have boundaries? You know, in some ways, I sit here as I'm learning more and more about them or experiencing them for myself. I see them for maybe this, I'll call it energetic bubble, you know, so that I can protect my energy so that it can start to expand, so I can really start to get to know myself more. So I have this space to try, you know, I almost think of it as like a bodysuit or something like that. If it's tight to my skin, I can't like try on new clothes. But if it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, I can, let's try this on and see what this feels like and see if I like this. And I don't know if I like this. But so I kind of see it for that. But on the other hand, you know, probably about 2 days ago, I was getting this sense of that boundaries are also like put in place to keep me super safe, which sounds great, right? But I was getting the sense that I was too safe, like I was playing it too safe. And with that, you know, like almost like this sense of playing it safe so that other people feel comfortable, you know. For example, like I walk around the local park here, and you know, I'll just look around and smile at people and good morning, and that almost like gives them this opportunity to come in and talk to me, and then I don't know how to set this boundary of like, hey, I didn't actually really want to talk to you, or like basically trying to make them feel, I don't know, welcomed, like that I'm not some a-hole, you know, let's just kind of like head down and no eye contact, and you know, just being super pleasant for everyone, even if I don't feel like in a pleasant mood or feel like talking to people. But then it's like, oh well, I don't want to be rude. And uh, again, with the convenience for other people, it was like I was getting this sense of maybe sometimes the way I dance, I don't, you know, like I'm doing it really for other people to make it look good. Or the same thing with singing. It's like I feel like I sing pretty well. However, I only pick songs or I only sing in certain ways that I know is pleasing to not only myself, but so that I can avoid judgment, that I can, you know, have other people, yeah, be okay with it. Because have you ever gone to a karaoke bar and somebody really is terrible and you're just sitting there going, where do I look? I don't want to look up at the stage. I want to pretend like I'm not actually hearing this because it's terrible. And I think it's that kind of sentiment of like, only putting out the things that I think would make other people comfortable. Maybe so they don't judge me, or maybe just so that, you know, it doesn't make them feel, I'll keep using the word comfort, but uncomfortable. So it's in some ways being very convenient for other people. So all of this to say is like, I am still playing around with this. I feel like I need more boundaries in my life because I feel like I explained before with the maple tree taps, I feel like I have a lot of taps in me. That's what she said. And I feel like with that, I'm letting out a lot of just little dribs and drabs of energy that maybe I can reclaim. And there's still probably some pretty big taps that I have in there, but learning how to tap manage, I guess, is going to be the term for today. And yeah, just being with that, learning what it feels like to actually set boundaries. And with that, you know, one of the ways is right now I'm not out at the park socializing, even though I feel like a lot of times it's not forced upon me, but it's almost like I don't know how to say no. And when people come up to talk to me about something benign, I just allow it because, well, I don't want to be rude. So it's sometimes taking yourself out of these situations, not being social, and also putting yourself in these situations and practicing, you know, that these people might get upset with you, but, you know, that's on them. And learning that it's okay to upset other people, learning that it's okay to not be the most liked there. And yeah, so either way, I feel like that's pretty good on boundaries. Once again, I feel like the synopsis here is I still don't know. I'm still learning what it what it maybe looks like to have boundaries and be in that state of knowing when you're too boundaried, I'll call it, too safe, that you can't move, that you can't grow, that you can't, and when you're not boundaried enough. So either way, I am gonna probably clean up my site, and I don't know what I'm gonna do today. Part of me wants to go to the park and work on some arts and crafts, because I've got some things brewing in my car other than coffee, but I got some ideas. But on the other hand, part of me is like, maybe I go spend a day at a coffee shop and just create in another way. But we'll see what happens. But thank you for watching. If you like my stuff, click subscribe. I don't understand the algorithm. I don't understand it, but apparently those things are important. For some reason, liking, subscribing, commenting. I don't know if that one's, I think it's important. I like comments because I like talking. So feel free to comment. And I'll check yous later. All right, see ya.